India is likely to clear a major defense deal for the 114 Rafale fighter jets, with reports suggesting the move could come ahead of the French president's visit to New Delhi. Underlining the growing depth of India-France strategic ties, the proposed acquisition comes under the Indian Air Force long-pending multi-role fighter aircraft program aimed at urgently addressing a sharp fighter squadron shortfall. The IAF is currently operating far below its sanctioned strength, even as security challenges persist on both the China and Pakistan fronts. The Rafale, already inducted into the Indian Air Force, has emerged as the frontrunner due to operational familiarity. With 36 Rafale already in service, the IAF benefits from trained pilots, existing infrastructure, and proven combat integration. Crucially, reports indicate that the deal could also see the induction of additional SCALP-EG long-range cruise missiles for the Rafale fleet. The SCALP significantly enhances India's deep strike capability, allowing precision attacks on the high-value targets deep inside enemy territory while remaining outside hostile air defense envelopes. The acquisition is expected to include tech transfer and large-scale manufacturing in India, in line with the government's push for defense indigenization and long-term self-reliance. That brings up the key question: why Rafale and why not a fifth-generation Sukhoi? India had earlier exited the FGFA program linked to the Sukhoi Su-57, citing concerns over stealth performance, engine reliability, sensor fusion, and limited tech transfer. The platform is still viewed by the IAF as operationally immature for India's immediate requirement. In contrast, the Rafale, though a 4.5 generation fighter, is combat proven and optimized for Indian condition. It excels in deep strike missions, maritime roles, nuclear delivery capability, and high altitude operations along the lines of actual control. India's long-term fifth generation ambitions remain anchored in the indigenous AMCA program, with Rafale acting as a critical bridge fighter until that capability is realized. Approval for the deal is expected from the Defence Acquisition Council. If cleared, the Rafale-SCALP combination could mark a significant leap in India's air power and precision strike capability. On this issue, I am joined by Air Commodore Dr. Ashminder Singh Bahal. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, let me be point blank here, sir. What do you make of this decision? And will Rafale plug in the gap of fifth generation fighters?
Kartikeya, thank you for calling me as always. I'm deeply privileged. Secondly, very importantly, it's like what our Chief of Air Staff had said: hungry mouths are waiting. Primarily because we have only 29 squadrons. We have a shortfall of 13 squadrons. We have 12 squadrons that are virtually getting old. They are around 40 years or even plus, which implies 6 squadrons of Jaguar where nobody else is manufacturing using them. There are companies which are not even providing spare parts. So what we are doing is we have bought 20 old Jaguars from Oman in December 2025 so that we can use certain available parts from them and then service or maintain our current Jaguar fleet. So what I'm likely to highlight to you is that add on these 12 squadrons, 3 squadrons of Mirage and 3 squadrons of MiG-29 and 6 squadrons of Jaguars, and we have a shortfall in 2035 of adding 13 plus this 12, 25 squadrons. Now look at it, what we are getting in. Let's say if we get Rafale, which is a great thing. If it happens, I'm telling you, I'll be very happy if the government goes ahead and signs this deal quickly. But the word here is quickly. Now we come to third. If we buy these Rafale, we get 6 squadrons. So that means out of the 25, 6 gone, 19. Now we look at LCA. Let's assume nothing happens wrong with LCA and we get the entire 180 aircraft by 2035. We have 10 squadrons coming in, 18 aircraft per squadron, and we have 16 squadrons. And when we minus that from 25, we still have a shortfall of 9 squadrons, which means whilst we need this desperately, the Rafale, and it will be a great thing if the government does a government-to-government deal and does it extremely quickly, and especially when they have already brought up the infrastructure in India or are in the process. For example, Tata Advanced Systems
Dr. Bahal,
Limited.
can we say the shortage of aircraft for Indian Air Force is an acute stage?
Yes, sir. It is not just in acute stage. It is a stage where we are going to face significant problems for the next 5 years, because even if we sign the Rafale deal, the first aircraft will come only in 2030. And as it is, we are waiting for 26 naval Rafales, and they have an order book of 220 unfulfilled, which means out of 533 Rafales that have been exported, 220 are still to be, given to those countries, 135 to the countries that are abroad. Now, just one more thing I want to highlight to you. We still need 4 to 5 squadrons of Sukhoi 57. Even after we get this, because by 2035, we are back to a shortage of 9 squadrons. And we are also looking at the Su-30 MKIs, which would be finishing anywhere from 25 to 40 years or so at that period of time. So we are looking at another fleet which would become old. And we are also looking for that we are still at 4.5 generation when China has 300 J20 and has in addition 57 J35, which implies that they have 357 today, they'll have 1,000 then, and they'll have at least 100 to 200 6th-generation aircraft flying at that time. So what we need is not just these 114 Rafale, which is a very good thing, and the government must do it as of yesterday. But what we need today is additional 4 to 5 squadrons of
Okay. Okay.
Su-57.
So you said 4.5 generation fighter, 5th generation fighter. So what I want to know from you is, what is the difference between a Rafale, which is a 4.5 generation fighter, and what is a 5th generation fighter?
Very nice question. Here, let me go slight technical for this. When we talk of 4.5 generation, we are looking at low observability, which means your RCS is between 0.1 to 1 square meter, and in frontal is 0.1, and in this side is 1 square meter on the fuselage. That's the maximum reflective surface. And we are looking at a stealth fighter, which are usually anywhere from 0.01 to 0.1 to 1, in between this range when you're looking at different angles. And we are also looking at, when we talk of actual stealth fighter like a F-35, you're looking at 0.0015 square meters of the radar cross section that you have the signature on. And the second thing which comes in, which implies, is if you pick up a 4.5 generation aircraft at 110 to 120 kilometers on radar, then you'll pick up a 5th generation probably between 90 to 100 kilometers. It's not that they become invisible, the distance reduces. And when we are talking of 6th generation, we'll be properly looking at 40 to 50 kilometers
That's
of
nothing.
pickup distance.
That's nothing.
That's nothing, because
That's nothing at the speed of Mach 2.
Absolutely. So what we need today is, in addition to this 114, but then there is a problem. We have a CATSA issue, Countering American Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. America has clearly said anybody buying Su-57, Algeria is the only country that has gone in for Su-57 as of this moment, but we are going to be threatened by CATSA if we go like we were threatened for S-400. So we have this complication, but I would still be very happy when the government signs this deal. And my request is for the Rafale.
Why do you vouch for a Su-57? You have not changed your stand. Why do you think that remains an viable option for us?
The Su-57 is a stealth aircraft. It has high agility, maneuverability. Its cost is virtually half of a Rafale or even lesser than that. And thirdly, they give full transfer of technology. They give you the source code. You can fit in all your Indian weapons. Su-30 MKI that we are assembling here and manufacturing here on licensed production, 50% of the infrastructure required for Su-57 already exists. They'll give us Kinzhal missile, which is 2,000 kilometer range, air-launched cruise missile. They are willing to give that to us with Su-57. And we get 100% transfer of technology. Even now with Rafale, I am not confident that though they'll be manufactured in India, and 30 to 60% would be the indigenization, but I'm not sure 100% transfer of technology will take place. And I'm not sure that they'll give us the source code, because these are the two things where the discussions haven't taken place. Because
So,
we still
in your
need
opinion, why have you gone for Rafale and not Su-57? Is it the production or assembly timelines, or the fact that we'll get them in the time, and Su-57 will take a lot of time?
I think it'll be the same time by the time you get a Rafale and a Su-57. But today what we have, the major advantage is TASL, that is Tata Advanced Systems Limited, is already tied up with Dassault Aviation for manufacture of fuselages.
Okay.
Same way, MRO of M88 Safran engine is going to start functioning in the next year or 2 years. That is going to be in Hyderabad. Both these. And third thing is we also have a Dassault Reliance Aerospace Limited, which is at Nagpur, where we already producing Falcon 2000 business jets, and which will not only be these Rafale will be produced there, 96 of them. So there is a particular amount of infrastructure already there for Rafale. That is one. Number two, Rafale is a proven combat proven aircraft. Su-57 is not yet a combat proven aircraft. And third is that we need both Rafale to fill in and become a backbone along with the LCA, but we also need fifth generation, and we can absorb that technology in our AMCA. That is going to help us over there also, and we can relate AMCA to sixth generation because it's going to be only produced from 2035 onwards. It's not going to be produced anything earlier than that.
Absolutely. And your closing comments, sir. Do we need to actively push for both fifth and 4.5 generation aircraft simultaneously?
Absolutely. That's what I want to say, that we must get the 114 Rafale, because that is one place where our deal is already come close to getting, finalized with the Defense Acquisition Council. But more importantly, we also still need a few squadrons of Su-57. The numbers can be decided by the government.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me, because this debate is, this conversation was about national interest. And our national interest is that if we are able to meet the requirement of our security forces, Indian Air Force, for simple reason, not only 4.5 generation of aircraft is required, but we also need fifth generation of aircraft. Government in its wisdom has taken a decision to bulk up our squadrons. But nonetheless, experts like Dr. Bahal says that the quest for both 4.5 generation and fifth generation should happen simultaneously.